Steakhouse.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the frim fram sauce with the awesome fave, with shafafa on the side.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another road edition of the Lunchbox Special Holiday Edition, coming to you live from one of my favorite restaurants around town with one of my favorite chefs, Kui Lam. We're at Kaizen Sushi Bar and Grill in Fort Lauderdale. It's on Federal Highway, and left Jeff Defo DeForest, and here we are, Kui Lam, the man.
Beautiful,
I call him the
yeah.
sushi savant. And last time we were here, we were radio only. So this is now the first full Lunchbox treatment with video. And welcome back to the Lunchbox, or I guess today I could call it the Bento Box or something like that. How are you, Kui?
I'm doing well, Mike. Thank you for having me here.
Well, it's always a pleasure. I love coming in here when I get a little sushi fix. And now, first of all, much gratitude on this Thanksgiving week for opening, especially for us. You do lunch hours on the weekends, but during the week it's dinner only. And gracious hosts, we've got sake, we've got knives. What could possibly go wrong? Defo, what do you think?
You know what? You've been talking this place up for a long, long time. I know you're great friends with Kui, and Lubie came in here, and I would think, I would say this, as critical as you can be, Lubie's an even more harsh critic. So he comes in here, and he couldn't stop raving about the place. For me, it brings back memories. I used to come here when I was Bon Gusto all the time. That was in marriage number 2. I was a frequent visitor to the Italian restaurant. It was a very nice place, and had a terrific little atmosphere because it's intimate here. And I would imagine just a perfect place. I couldn't be more excited than to be here today. It's absolutely great. I got a little nervous when I saw the giant knife after the way I've been riding you on Let's Eat South Florida about being an elitist, but then I realized Kui is the guy, he's cutting up like giant 400-pound marlin with these things. So it's fantastic. So good to be here. Yeah.
The bluefin tuna is what you were saying, is that you use kind of this big boy knife. So yeah, when getting into it, people I guess don't realize they go out some places and there's some people who are not really well-trained sushi chefs out there, but you pride yourself on being a real student and disciple of just the whole sushi culture. Can you just talk about a little bit? I know the first time we were here you gave us a little bit of your background, but maybe for those who missed that one, just kind of give us a refresher of how you get started, where you're from, and how you totally got immersed in sushi culture.
Well, let's see. I got started in the sushi restaurant since I was 15 years old. The high school that I go to had a Chinese restaurant across the street. After school, I would run over, became a dishwasher, 2-3 days a week. That's all that they needed me. But I was always curious, always looking at the chef. I like how he did the wok. I like how they peel the shrimp, how they break down the chicken without wasting anything. I always try to come in early, get everything done so I can ask if I can help. And I guess the owner really likes me a lot, and he gave me the opportunity to learn. And from there on, I just hop on from one cuisine to the next one to the next one.
And this was where? This was in Massachusetts, where you grew up, right?
Massachusetts, yes, sir.
And you were actually not Japanese. You were born in Cambodia, correct?
Cambodia, yes.
Yeah. And what people don't realize is that, it's like any other culinary art that you don't necessarily have to be from a certain country in order to become a devotee and expert at preparing it. But you did then go on and I guess started going around to some of the higher end sushi places and learning from more advanced sushi chefs.
It was the only way to keep myself on tip top, make sure that I'm not falling behind. Everybody has their own clever idea of approaching things differently. And everybody, have different knowledge, different way of doing it. And in order for me to improve, I have to learn. I can't just tell myself I'm the best. The day I tell myself that, that's it. There's no more room to grow for me.
And even the name of the place, explain to people what Kaizen means.
Kaizen in Japanese means continuous improvement. And that's what I do. So when I'm not working for myself, I look at top restaurant, look at top chef. I ask them, hey, are you hiring? Do you need somebody, for prep or anything? I'm willing to work. I don't mind. That's what I do. I go, I learn, I come back, I show my guy over here.
Now you started, I guess, um, your fiance Chow, her family has a sushi restaurant in
Yes.
central Massachusetts. Not, I guess it's Sturbridge for those who
Sturbridge,
know
yeah.
the. That's where the I guess Massachusetts Turnpike. There's an exit that goes down to Hartford and close to the Basketball Hall of Fame and Springfield, all that. But longtime restaurant there, and that's kind of where you kind of learned your chops and
Yep.
all that. Yeah.
That's where I learned everything over there. But I really improved myself through traveling to other sushi restaurants, working under other chefs, and most of all on YouTube.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I remember when I came in here undercover as the critic for the Sun Sentinel, and I got tipped off to this place by our mutual friend now, Dr. Nick Tranicus, who said, you got to check out this new sushi place in Fort Lauderdale. This was back, what, 2019?
2019,
Yeah.
right before COVID.
And what I loved about it, besides the great quality fish and all that, was on these TV screens that you have around the restaurant here, it was all these YouTube videos, eater.com videos of like these high-end sushi restaurants and also fish markets, the famous one in Tokyo. And I was just like, oh, this guy's a sushi freak. He's like, he's got continuous loops of tuna and all kinds of other exotic fish being broken down and cut up. And I said, okay, that explains it. But some of the places that you work were what, New York or Hollywood, or I mean, here in the
Just
town?
when I moved down to Florida 7 years ago, just in Florida, I work at about 8 restaurants. So I work at Coro, the Hard Rock Casino. That's where I first started with Suji-san. So I also learned from Suji-san a lot, and he went on to open Wabi Sabi and open a Hayakawa.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're doing very, very good. And I also work at TJ, Coco Asian Bistro, Yakuza, Jasmine, you name it, I work. I just want to see what I'm up against because I know this is where I want to open. Do I think I was gonna learn that much when looking at their menu? Not really, but I want to know what make them so successful, so busy all the time. That's what I wanted to know. The menu looked very simple, just like our first location up north. But why is they so busy? TJ is very, very busy, very successful,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to know why. What are they doing right? So in order to learn, I had to go work.
So, what are some of the secrets? What is it that you're trying to discover, and what is the ultimate? You're continuously trying to improve, which is a great way to approach everything, especially when you're already an expert at it. But what is it that the ultimate goal is, and how do you become great as a sushi chef?
That's a great question, Jeff.
Wow.
14 years of doing sushi already, I still haven't found the answer. Just when I thought I knew it already, I learned something else new, and it sets me back again.
Oh, and I mean, it's like a Bible study, or in my case, playing poker. You're always trying to learn new things and there's new tricks, and the game is constantly evolving. And I guess is the sushi game, because it seems like now every restaurant in town, including like Quarter Deck and some
Publix,
like
I mean,
burger
has a
places,
sushi
they're
shop,
all
yeah.
making sushi because I guess the weather down here, people love, in the hot weather, sushi is the perfect food. Does that annoy you, or does that make you even more excited because like the everybody has it and you got to constantly stay ahead of the game?
Not really.
No.
No, not at all. The one who truly knows sushi will come to us.
Right.
Since I opened up, I haven't done any promotion, no pay advertisement, nothing. Just
Well,
word
you
of
got
mouth.
Mayo as
Well,
a mouthpiece. I mean, Mr. Food over here.
We're
What are you
gonna
talking
try to
about?
make that change
loves it,
soon.
yeah.
But
And most of all, I have Let's Eat South Florida.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm so happy they love us here.
as far as a grassroots food loving group, yeah, I mean, that's also gratifying because Dr. Nick is on there and I'm on there even after I left the paper. And anytime somebody asks about sushi in town, and what do you think of those places that have sushi and Thai food?
I mean, everybody have a different taste bud. Whatever makes you happy, go for it.
Okay.
That's it.
But have you seen that before? Was that a thing up in Massachusetts?
No, none. There's none at all.
Okay, because it became a thing in Florida.
In Florida, yes, I was very surprised when I first came down.
Yeah.
Well, you get sushi at a gas station down here.
No, but the combination of Thai food, again, Thai sushi became like Asian fusion, and is now become a big thing all over the country. But that specific marriage of sushi, which is Japan and Korea up here, and Thailand down here, and again, you Cambodia and Vietnam. Chow's from Vietnam. Totally different styles of food and preparation, right?
Absolutely. My people, we eat insects, and here I am serving sushi.
No, and actually, one time for a staff meal, Chow prepared me some of those silkworms, and I got to
Oh,
tell
yeah?
you,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, how was it?
it was
You,
delicious.
you were happy with it.
Yeah,
Did you tell him about it beforehand?
I did. He was very brave. He knew. He looked at it and
No,
he
he'll
know
eat
it.
anything. We know that. He's like Bourdain, Anthony Bourdain, when it comes to this sort of stuff. But for somebody like me that's not necessarily a sushi connoisseur, how can you tell if you're in a good place? What are some of the fundamental things to look for if you're going to order sushi or go to a sushi restaurant like this? What are some of the basic things that people look for that distinguishes one from another?
For me, if I do go to other sushi restaurant, the first thing I order would be sushi rice, just a side order sushi rice.
Okay.
And next would be the uni.
Mm.
Because uni is something you can't put in the freezer.
Sea urchin,
Sea urchin. Yeah.
delicacy, which is an acquired taste for some people. Some people,
Absolutely.
like me, I love it. But if I were to describe it, I would say sometimes it kind of has the essence of if you walk through the sea ocean along the beach wearing your socks and then you squeezed out your sock into your mouth. That may be like uni tastes like. Which not
Skyline chili. That's why he likes that. It's same
but
taste.
once you get that, I don't know. It's hard to describe, but we love it. I mean, the texture of it, even though it has that umami, funky flavor, which I love. But what is it that you look for on the rice? Because I know you go crazy with your rice and the balance, and you have a machine that costs like thousands of dollars to make it?
The Kangen water machine, that one, it controls the pH level of the rice, of the water. So that's how I use it for my rice. And the rice, I'm leaning toward more acidic, not sweet.
Mhm.
If it's sweet, it's already not the correct balance. So I'm leaning toward more acidic. And on top of it, I use multiple vinegar to try to blend it for different fish.
Okay.
So
You make different
vinegar.
blends of vinegar depending on which cut of fish you're using.
Absolutely. Like tuna, I would use a H vinegar, red vinegar,
Mhm.
silver skin. They're a little bit heavier on the fishy side, but if you prepare correctly, they're not. But
Ha-
that's what most people think of when they think of horse mackerel or Spanish mackerel, any of those ones.
How many places vary their rice vinegar composition based on the type of fish down here?
Down here, there's only three places that I know of:
Mm.
Hayakawa, Wabi Sabi, Hidden, which is expensive but it's good,
Mhm.
and then Kuro.
Right.
Yeah. But
And
beside that, most everybody else just use one base of rice for everything.
right.
But it's
So
working. So you can't say anything about it.
these are the little things that most people don't know, but you pay attention to. And again, those who are sushi connoisseurs will be able to kind of tell that difference. And the composition, like the grains of the rice. I mean, it's not all just mushy and sticky. Like
You don't want it mushy, you don't want it sticky. You want them to fall apart. So when you put that piece of nigiri in your mouth, everything should disperse evenly. If the rice clump together and the fish is one side, it's not a well balanced. And if you make it too big where you have to force yourself, it's not a comfortable feeling.
it always
So you better not do the big bite here.
No, not here.
He's warning you.
it's a small
Don't shovel it in there, man.
Well, it's a small composed bite because technically, when you get served a piece of sushi, it's supposed to be eaten in one bite, correct?
Yes. Yes.
And it always amuses me that some of the critics on the group, Defo, they complain about, oh, it looks small. The sushi pieces are too small, and it's like those who know sushi know that it's supposed to be a composed, balanced bite because it is supposed to be a one bite item when you're having the nigiri. And that when you go to places that they have this big hunking fish and over a big thing of rice and you're eating it in two bites, I mean, I guess that's more Americanized for Americanized taste, Kui.
I wouldn't know.
Okay, he doesn't want to.
He's not, as critical as you are of people's taste. You know what I was always curious about? Now, is it an advantage to be in Florida, and does that change the approach because of the availability of, a variety of, really great fresh fish?
Actually, no. I don't use
No?
any local fish here.
Nothing. Okay.
I had customers who come in like, "Hey, do you have wahoo?" I said, "No, I'm sorry, sir, I don't have it." First of all, I don't really like warm water fish. I mean, wahoo is a great fish. It's good for cooking.
Okay.
That thing absorb any flavor that you put in there. If you give it the right, ingredient to marinate it, it's perfect. But if you were to just pick it up, eat it as it is, no soy sauce, no wasabi, no nothing, The texture is nice, but it doesn't leave behind like that nice aftertaste.
It's kind of greasy, huh? Wahoo. I mean, I remember, having it actually fresh caught. I went out fishing with a guy, and he had a restaurant. He cooked it up, and it was great. But it's not always that tasty. It could be a little bit, if you were talking about meat, I guess it would be gamey or whatever.
Fishy.
Yeah, fishy,
Depending
yeah.
on the oils in the fish.
And sushi grade tuna. I mean, how do you judge that? You'll always hear, well, we got sushi grade tuna here. What is the criteria for that?
That one, to be honest with you, Jeff, I still need learning in that department.
Oh, yeah.
I even bought those little needle thing where you put it in the same way you judging your car oil. You poke it in, you take it out, you see how much oil you have left.
Right.
I even tried with the tuna, but it's just so hard for me to still learn because I never had anybody who taught me this yet. Now I'm watching YouTube. I'm going to Google, and these Japanese men, they're doing it. They're explaining it, but the subtitles in Japanese. So I would get my cell phone, Google Translate it, holding it, following back and forth, trying to learn. But this is something I'm still learning, so I can't really
He
give you a
knows
definite
sushi grade
answer.
tuna, and he knows one thing is that you are now like the
beautiful.
biggest purchaser of the bluefin tuna, the Spanish bluefin tuna in the South Florida market. That how many pounds of it do you go through a week in terms of because you cut up and sell so much? And first of all, let's say kampai. We
Yeah,
got some
yeah.
nice sake.
Kanpai.
Happy Thanksgiving. Happy holiday
Thanksgiving,
season to
everybody.
everybody.
Way to kick off the season.
And you know what I
Way to
say
go.
before the turkey? Sushi. So why not? Nice sake.
Couple more of those, and there'll be some show.
Oh yeah. Now I'll get him to open up and say what he really feels.
Sushi grade tuna. What are you talking about?
No, but you were saying that you now buy more more of the bluefin tuna than pretty much a lot of restaurants in town.
Based on my vendor, yes.
Yeah.
They are saying I purchased the most in Broward County for one location. Now, there's another location in Delray and Boca, like Sushi by Boo. Yeah, they bring their own whole bluefin tuna,
Right.
but they spread it among their location.
Right. They have 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But you are only one and only Kaizen. And here it's 5640 North Federal Highway. It's just north of Commercial Boulevard. If
Easy
you-
to find. It really is.
This is
Yeah.
very easy to find. It's right across from the
Well,
big
by here
mega
all the time.
church. And all you got to do is go past the Olive Garden. That's easy. Go past the Pollo Tropical. That's under construction. That's easy to do. Go past the Burger King. That's easy to do. And when you see the Promised Land, you'll see Kaizen.
When was the last time you went to Burger King, actually?
You
Were
know
you a
what?
fan of
It's
Burger King?
funny. I just asked somebody the other day because I drove past one. I was like, I cannot recall the last time I've been to a Burger King. It might have been to try their Impossible Whopper with the fake meat. And
I had a friend that was a vegetarian. She insisted we go there, and you pointed out that that's all baloney. Yeah, literally.
well, no. Well, the thing is, it's more salt and just as much fat, but there's not as much cholesterol and things like that. But the other scary part is, I don't know if you ever go to Burger King, but
Can't imagine.
the Impossible Whopper actually tastes better than the regular Whopper, and I don't know whether
yeah?
that's a high praise for the Impossible Whopper or an indictment of the regular Whopper.
It's more of a condemnation, I would think, of the regular. I thought, it was always good, but nothing like this. I mean, it's easy to blow by those joints. if
No,
come
when you
here.
come in here,
Yeah.
and this is such high quality stuff. And again, if you want to do the full shebang, you just come up to Kui at the sushi bar and say omakase, which means I'm putting myself in the chef's hands. Give me your best cuts. Bring me your finest, sea treats and fish and uni and the Hokkaido scallops that you slice. I mean, what do you
Wow.
do? You get pleasure from working with pretty much everything?
I
And-
do. I
yeah.
really do. I get bored of doing just salmon, tuna, and hamachi. It's boring.
And that's probably what 85% of the customers order, right?
Absolutely. You'd be surprised. But now my tuna has gone more than the regular tuna.
Right.
Just the bluefin alone, every 2 weeks I go through 160 pounds.
Wow.
Yes. And
Not the regular tuna. This is
you-
only the bluefin.
and you play around with it in terms of aging. And it's
Yes,
funny
I do.
because one of the other things that people always go harp on is, oh, it's so fresh tuna. Well, the thing is, real sushi grade fish needs to be flash frozen for just a couple of minutes to kill parasites. So people, when they say, oh, it's the freshest fish, it actually has to go through a process that it makes it safe for consumption. But number 2, then you've taken it to the next level where people, the same way they dry age premium prime beef,
Yep.
you've started.
I started aging my own fish because after years of eating fish, I was wondering what can I do to bring out the flavor of the fish.
Mhm.
There were days that I tried my fish that's been in the refrigerator for 2 days. Tastes better than fish that one of my friends just gave it to me.
Oh,
It's
And
like
that's when
Tom
it
T's
leaks in.
leftover lasagna. Sometimes it's better in the fridge after 3 days.
It's always a test of a good dish, though. If it's even better when it's left over sometimes.
Well, no, but again, then now you've gone to the
Thank you, Mike.
where you just experiment and do it for what, 2 weeks, and dry age tuna.
Yep, I did. Especially during COVID when we shut down. I used to hang my tuna in the walk-in cooler with the fan constantly blowing. But now I can't do that anymore because it's getting so busy. We have more staff, and if I hang the tuna there, people are just gonna keep poking it. What's this? What's that? And just gonna spoil the whole thing. So instead of dry aging, now I aging because it's a different method. So aging, you dry age is dry age. It's not the same as
It's
using
hanging in a
salt or
locker,
free-
like
Yep.
in a cold environment. But now, when it regular aging, what do you kind of wrap it up and just let it hang out for a little while?
Cut off the oxygen supply, moisture, water, get rid of all that. Those are the 3 enemies to aging fish. Aging any kind of protein. If you can cut off those supply, you are good to go. But then also have to control the temperature. If it fluctuates too much, the humidity build up. So you don't want that.
But what do you find that, when you age a piece of tuna and then you kind of let it, when you serve it, you let it come to room temperature again, and then
Yes.
it brings out the full flavor, and you
Absolutely. All fish should be dropped down to room temperature.
Mhm.
Why? Because you don't eat a block of cold butter. There's no flavor there. But when you let the butter melt, you dip your lobster, you dip whatever it is.
I
That's what
often
the
eat
flavor's at.
raw butter when it warms up to room temperature. I just swipe my
Take a
fingers
stick
through it.
of butter frozen out of the freezer.
And you're right, you
Yeah,
get
like
more
that,
flavor
yeah.
when it comes to
Absolutely.
room temperature.
Yeah.
But no, as somebody who's come in here and eaten a bunch of these different the aged and the dry aged item, it is like going to a premium, high end steakhouse, and it has a little bit more of that, depth and the funk and the umami and the different fat contents. People have played around now and they know the difference between otoro and chutoro and the different fat contents in
Yep.
tuna. But when you play around with the aging process along with the fat content, it really turbocharges the whole
It
sushi
really
experience.
does. Now that you have with fat come
He
flavor.
almost had an orgasm when he was talking about that. Wow.
I'm gonna have a
That
lot more
that
sake.
was good, man.
Cheers
Nice
again.
description there, Mayo. You're on your game today. That is great.
Well,
man.
I get excited by good quality premium fish.
That was awesome. Yeah. Tremendous stuff. You know what I'm always fascinated by, and you have a variety of the knives out here. And I keep thinking of the scene in Goodfellas when Paul Sorvino is cutting the garlic with a razor blade. I don't know if you're familiar with that movie, Kui, but how hard is it to develop these skills to be able to, be a sushi chef in terms of the way that you carve up the fish?
It depends on the person. I used to believe when I was working at the Kodo.
We could never do it, being nervous Jewish guys, like at the shakes.
On a good day, get the locks that.
But how steady do you have to be? Can you be a diamond cutter also? I mean, this is great.
I mean, I have one chef. He's 19 years old. His hand's shaky, but the moment he places his hand on the fish, it just steady itself.
Oh yeah, wow.
Yeah, but when he hold it up like that,
It's
it's
a-
like
Yeah.
this. But he's doing
Did you
great. He's
hire you
doing-
hired a guy that had the shakes?
I didn't know his hand was shaking.
I think he was nervous because he's in here. He knows
Well,
he's next
with
to the
best of
master.
best.
That's what I thought. But 6 months later, it's still shaking.
Oh man, it reminds me of the scene in Blazing Saddles where Gene Wilder is the sheriff, and he holds his hand up and he goes, "Look at this." And Cleavon Little says, "Steady as a rock." He goes, "Yeah, but this is my shooting hand." Can we talk about these
Yeah,
different
yeah,
knives
yeah,
here?
what
What
the
do we
heck?
have in front of us, and what are
Gotta
the
do a
different
demonstration here.
purposes of these knives?
This isn't Ginsu knives here. I mean,
No, this is
some
like John.
serious
I'm
stuff.
expecting John
Wow.
Belushi to come out. the
This
old
isn't a set you
samurai
bought for
war-
$19.95, and also included is a no-stick pan. I mean, this is fantastic.
This one right here is where my chef. We have Eli
borrow
and
that, by the
Fabian
way?
back there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Hey,
This is what they use to break down the bluefin tuna. This knife costs us about $4,200.
Wow.
4,200, and that's for when you're dealing with a whole hunk of fish,
Yes.
bones, head, everything to break it down.
You wouldn't want to cut the bone with that.
Okay,
The
no.
edge is very sensitive.
Okay,
It's gonna
so
tip, but
It's just to cut the flesh,
just to
separate.
cut the flash, break through the whole scale, easy right here. But it's at the same time, I really don't like this one that much because it's a high carbon steel. So what it does, it get rusty. When it get rusty
wow.
with the bluefin, they're gonna react,
Oxidizes.
oxidize it. So what I can do is break down the whole fish. Once we load it out into bigger pieces, I use the cheaper knife. Surprisingly, this one right here.
Yeah.
Only $120.
That's funny.
Yeah, VG10, but it doesn't carry any oxidation, so it's perfect for the bluefin tuna.
Wow.
I find that sometimes, the ones that's the most reasonable is the most utilitarian,
Absolutely.
and that's great. That's and then what's the two in between?
This one right here is also blue steel number 2, but I pay another $400 to have it covered in Swedish steel, so that way I can use it for my omakase. I can cut any fish.
Swedish steel. So
Yeah.
there's different blends of
Different
steels.
blend.
Wow,
Yeah,
that
so
is some
this one
serious stuff.
I got it for about $1,800 right here.
Okay.
So you can't go to Walmart and get a set of these. I mean,
If your knife skill is good, any
it's
knife
amazing
will
how
do.
sophisticated it is. Yeah.
and the fourth one here in the middle.
And this one right here is also a blue steel number 2, but it's not covered. This
Okay.
one is covered and it's mirror polished. That's
Okay.
why it's shiny.
And again, it's a blend of Swedish and Japanese steel, and this one is all Japanese.
This one, yep, all Japanese right here. I just pay extra to have it covered so it doesn't ruin my bluefin
Yeah.
tuna when I cut. But this is a special one I got. Has a, well, I wouldn't say a mentor, but I did learn from him for a couple months. His name is Jackson Yu from Omakase in San Francisco. He gave
Oh,
it
wow.
to me as a gift
They're serious.
after he
in
got
San
his first
Francisco.
Michelin
Oh,
star.
sweet.
Nice. So, Defo, did you realize this is like a musician when they have the different
I
guitars?
love this. You know what? I mean, you don't. I'm not necessarily a connoisseur of sushi, but I do enjoy it, and I really love the art behind it. You know, because when you see people, it's just fascinating to watch people, and that's why I was asking earlier. I mean, what are the fundamentals of it? Because how can you tell if a guy is for real? As a sushi chef, I guess you could gauge it by the knives that they have, number one, but and the style. But it's fascinating, the whole thing. I mean, it's just a fascinating way of preparing food. It's great.
Yeah, if he's got if your sushi chef is paying attention to the pH balance of his water for the sushi rice, and he's got $4,200 knives hanging up behind you,
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
you know he might be a little bit serious about
Yes,
the
yeah,
product.
no,
that
that's
he's
great.
serving.
Really, science. It's unreal.
Hey, Kui, I think it's time we're going to take our first break, and then maybe we could even get into some of the actual
Absolutely.
products
Yeah.
because
That's part of the unfortunate side of it. You have to give up some free food here to Mayo, but that's
we
part
call
of
it
the deal.
promotional
Yeah.
considerations.
Promotional
as opposed to-
considerations. Yes.
No, and we have to demonstrate the proper way to eat sushi. We're going to talk about all this.
And you have other things on the menu too, which
Absolutely.
is
We're gonna have it
interesting
ready
also.
for
Yeah.
you. Right
Yeah.
now, Eli and Fabian are preparing some sushi for you, and the guys in the back are gonna bring out some cooked food from the kitchen.
Wow. Nice.
And so before we get our first break, let me talk to you about the great upcoming event that's going to be the Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival, January 8th through the 14th. It's going to be an incredible array of different local food and also wine, the local restaurants, great chefs. I got to get Kui involved with them too, because you're one of the best of Broward County and Greater Fort Lauderdale, and that's what the Visit Lauderdale Food Wine Fest is all about. Again, go online to vlfoodwine.com to check out all the great offerings. There's going to be some beautiful, intimate dinners around town, like our friend Tim and Baloo at the Catherine will be holding one. Our friend Reno Sorbonne at Heritage, the opening night kickoff on that Monday, January 8th. Our friend Paula De Silva, along with some of her contemporaries at Burlock Coast at the Ritz-Carlton, all those and more. And then, of course, you got the big four events, which are going to be the bar fight competition Wednesday night. Thursday is a new Asian themed walk and roll. We're gonna try to twist this arm. We'll see. There's always we'll see. But again, that walk and roll event, we're gonna be talking more about that tomorrow at the new Bayoshi Food Hall in Pembroke Pines with our friends Alex and Diego from Temple Street Eatery that are also involved in the new food hall and the new walk and roll Asian street food event. That's going to be all kinds of dim sum and dumplings and all kinds of things. Maybe we can get some sushi there too. But that's going to be on the Thursday night, Friday night poolside barbecue party, Saturday, the grand tasting down at the Beachfront Park, A1A in Las Olas Boulevard, where our friends Brad and Dave, Even Keel, they're opening up a new Las Olas, but Even Keel defending champions with the People's Choice Bite with their great coconut curry pumpkin lobster soup. VLFoodWine.com. If you mention, well, actually, when you punch in and buy your tickets, use the promo code Lunchbox to get an extra 15% off the already low ticket prices. That's Lunchbox for a 15% additional savings. Makes for the perfect stocking stuffer for the food lover in your life. Go to VLFoodWine.com, Lunchbox promo code, and we'll see you next year after the holidays for a great time, a great week of food and fun.
You were right about this guy, man. Fantastic individual. How tough is it to get in here, though? That it's an intimate place. I remember that setup from when it was Bon Gusto, and you have a relatively small number of tables. How tough is it to get in here?
No, I actually took over 3 units, including the outdoor patio. This seat up to 160.
Oh,
seats.
okay, cool.
Yeah, there's
All right.
some hidden alcoves back there.
The
They're
hidden
redoing the
alcove.
patio.
All right, very
He's
good.
again Kaizen, continuous improvement. He's got some refurbishment and rebuilding the back deck. The patio area is great during the wintertime.
Absolutely. You
So
can
I'm
tell
thinking between you, me, and Lubie, how are we going to, have reservations on the same night? But that's great. So
I'll be over here.
You ever did a dine-in movie? They have a dine-in sushi. Just drive right in, sit in your car.
He likes to eat while he's driving.
Oh
too.
no,
You give
dining
him-
while
give him
driving
one of
is going
those
to be the
boats.
offshoot show of this. Yes.
He makes these sushi boats to go. I saw you delivered
Those
one
are
to
great, too,
somebody
yeah.
that just delivered a baby and couldn't eat sushi for
Oh
9
man,
months.
right to the hospital. All the doctor, nurses, the very next day they came to say, wow.
That was a fantastic picture. I love that so much. All right.
Her husband called me in the middle of the birth. She's screaming, get the sushi ready. You saw the baby right next to her. Yeah.
It's coming out.
You saw the baby right next to her, still crying.
Oh, the things we do for our
All right,
kids.
we're coming back with more from Kaizen right here on Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale. A beautiful place, having a good time with Quee. In a moment on Mike Mayo's Lunchbox.
People come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. This is Grill at Meisner Park in Boca Raton, located at 404 Plaza Real. Since 1991, delicious modern American cuisine in a stylish yet casual setting. The outdoor patio and lively bar is the place to see and be seen at Meisner. It also features a sushi bar and a dry-aged steak program. Don't miss their long-term signature dishes like radiatore pasta and bacon-wrapped meatloaf. So good. Open daily with live music Wednesday through Saturday evenings and a great weekend brunch. For reservations and more information, go to maxsgrill.com. It's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
Hey, we're back here on the Lunchbox. It's Tuesday before Thanksgiving.
Very
and
exciting. I mean, the food's coming. This is going to be great.
a lot of people don't know, like, what do you do before the big feasting of the Thanksgiving holiday? Do you like fast for a couple of days?
Do you eat breakfast on Thanksgiving?
Are
you going to Grandpa's? I mean,
yeah,
what are you
well,
doing?
like Mark Fried said yesterday that it's a 2-meal day. I say usually I'm having 2 meals an hour these days.
I was going to say.
But
How many Thanksgiving dinners have you had so far?
I think I'm up
You
to like
had
3,
at
and I'm going to have
least
2
3,
more on Thursday.
How was that fried turkey, by the way? I don't know
was
if we
good.
talked about it yesterday.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was definitely flavorful because I don't know if they inject the syringes with the seasonings in it or not. I didn't ask Brandon and Kevin at Batch New Southern Kitchen. Oh, look at this! Now it's getting heavy.
But there's only
I better.
4 of
I
us.
better
but-
We're going to be destroyed
it's
at the end of
We
this.
don't need it that big.
I'm going to a poker tournament right after this. I need to be a little loose.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can clear off the knives and get it away from Defo before I get
he slices
too
you.
rambunctious and
Yeah.
elitist for his taste.
Well, he's been particularly harsh.
I love that you're still doing that on. Let's see, like, why is that your
best
new
part
thing?
about it is he
Because it
complains
drives
about the
engagement.
divisiveness of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
people,
and then he does it.
He divides them.
I've been doing it for 5 years. Okay, it always bothered Gretchen because
Got
she's
to, yeah.
she's the nice admin.
Yeah.
She's from South Dakota. I'm from Brooklyn, and sometimes
He's
I
from
like
New
to-
York too, and he's not a jerk off like you are.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have you watched any reality TV shows?
Yes, I hate them.
But like
They're all based on hate.
They're all you.
right.
This is the reason the
Sometimes-
world is screwed up.
Sometimes you need a little bit of a villain. Sometimes you need a little bit of a somebody that's creating strife.
I
and
get
mixing,
it,
You know,
but-
stirring
Some
the
poor
pot.
guy likes Flanagan's, though. You don't have
No,
to
but
carve him up on there.
As
I
I
mean,
said yesterday, I wasn't directing my ire at Flanagan's or the establishment. I was directing
Flanagan's
it.
must be good. I mean,
I like
look,
Flanagan's. He even praised it in some
What
form.
I'm saying is there are certain food phrases, cliches that drive me nuts.
Let
and
it
one of them
go,
is
let it
never
go. It's
disappoints.
the
You know
same thing
some of
about
the other
your
ones?
standard time.
Here we
I
go.
love that he made a list.
Yeah, never
It's like
disappoints.
Defo's two-word thing.
Let's
Uh,
may as well air this out right now.
Yeah.
Why
Before
not?
the feast,
Well, we're
yeah.
all tipsy.
We've got don't sleep on such a, like this new phrase, don't sleep on it. Don't sleep on
But I
the
use that all the
dry-aged
time.
tuna
though.
sushi
I'll
at
say,
Kaizen.
don't sleep on the Lakers. I said that to Lubie all last year.
I don't want to sleep on the dry-aged tuna. It's gonna make a little bit of an
So
oil
you
stain
can't
on my
be
back and my
taking
I
it-
get
sheets.
too
It's a
literal.
figure
I
of
wanna
speech.
eat.
It's a figure
It's
of
a
speech.
stupid figure of speech.
It's-
And
I think it works in sports. I don't know about food because I'll give you this: if someone's bringing it up, we're not sleeping on it. Like we
okay.
already know about it. So
Yeah.
it's actually I will agree with you when it comes to food. That is a weird thing to say because if you're bringing it up, my friend, we probably heard
Right.
of it.
Well,
So
what are the others? Let's go through the whole list.
Some of the others are run, don't walk to Kaizen to get your sushi fix. It's
Wow.
like I don't want to
Phony
run. I don't want to
things,
break
yeah.
a sweat. I don't want to like get in a schwitzy when I get to a restaurant. I want to be comfortable. As Arnold Palmer said, it's not cool to run on a golf course.
And that's
There you go.
elitist nitpicking right there. I'll
I
give
don't
you
have a
a
problem with
It's
any of these.
We'll-
things.
we'll rate these.
food phrases.
I don't have a problem with
They're
any of
just
these
saying,
things.
hey, to get there sooner than later.
And then
Basically,
the other one is when they conclude, instead of like saying, hey, I'm looking for a great place for a Sunday brunch on the water in
for a party
Broward,
at 21,
No.
which I want to bring my dog and cat.
instead of saying, hey, thanks, TIA is good, thanks in advance, just be
Yeah.
a little gracious when you make a query request. But when they end it by saying, and go.
But you do that yourself.
Oh,
I
you did
don't-
it the other
I
day.
do that
You'll put
as
Skyline Chili
mock them, to
and
mock
go.
them.
that was
To mock
mocking the
them, yeah.
people.
Oh, okay. All
And
right.
again, that's something which
Okay, so what's the way to do it? Because an idiot like me would use Let's Eat for that
the
purpose.
younger
What-
generation somehow this and go thing became a thing and they don't see it as rude. It's a totally
And,
Okay, so-
here's the issue, though. I mean, when a guy says this place never disappoints, obviously every place
has a moment. yeah.
has a moment where I've gone to some of my favorite places, and said, well, you know what, it wasn't really
This
all
day
that
wasn't
great
great,
tonight, but I'm going back because I know
Just
they're outstanding.
add 2 letters. Never disappoints me.
Me.
If you've never been disappointed, that's fine. And then people say, well, it's implied. And it's
But
like,
it is implied.
now do I have to say the
It's implied to everybody but you.
the
I was gonna say I
risotto,
wouldn't get mad at
the
them for saying it.
risotto was outstanding, in my opinion? No, because when you say the risotto was outstanding, you know it's an
We're talking
opinion
to
coming from person.
125,000 dedicated people
128,000.
that see you as the
28.
It
as
is
a big kahuna. And
love
when
how
you
angry you
start
get.
doing that, it just
It
seems
riles
odd,
people up, and
Yes.
then they start hating on me, and then they meet me in person. They say, "Wow, you're so nice." So it's kind of
Yeah,
another
that's a
thing.
misjudgment there too.
It's a
'Cause
misjudgment.
you
They're
really
a
are
decent
like
word.
that. That's the real
That's
you.
more you
That's
than
the funny
the
thing.
nice guy.
Yeah.
Depends on the day.
You're a cynical bastard.
I'm a
basically.
Gemini.
Yeah.
It depends on the
There's
day.
2
Sometimes-
sides to
I
Mike
don't know. I mean,
Mayo.
when a guy says this place never disappoints, I'm assuming that's his
Yeah, it's
opinion.
fine.
Yeah,
I mean,
but then I have I have proof that
And
they're-
you'll get
they've
100
been-
people that say, "No, I went there and it sucked."
Yeah, well,
Right?
that's- yeah,
So
That's the
obviously.
thing. If you post that, you're basically putting a target on your back, saying, "Well,
But-
I went
but
there
do you
once,
want-
and they
do you
totally
want
overcooked
Let's
my
Eat South
burger."
Florida to be that? I mean, do you want
He
that to
loves
be the
it.
thing where
or
everybody
hates it.
hates
I
the
can't give
poor
an honest
person that
answer to that.
Yes, he does.
I want civility.
Russian!
Of course, I want civility.
Yeah, right. You're the worst.
You're
You-
provoking it like never before, though. I mean,
And
is there
supposed to
something
be-
going on in your life? What's going on?
As an admin, you're supposed to be like an umpire, calling balls. And
Yes,
strikes,
you
and
are.
that's
Yes,
the
the way
way-
Gretchen
That's
does it.
what Gretchen does. That's
Yes.
what David
She's
Schutz
diplomatic.
does.
Yes.
Diplomatic. Everybody loves
Oh.
Gretchen, but me, I'm the guy with the personality.
I don't
And-
mind how you take a shot on the people sometimes, but that really seemed odd to me. That one
Well,
in particular.
no, I
and the
didn't-
thing with the the
didn't-
poor guy that went to Anthony's clubhouse.
Right, that I
mean,
felt bad. Okay,
that was terrible.
and again, there was some latent things percolating because of the whole name issue, and that really had nothing to do with the dish
But
that
you
he
made
showed.
your peace with this guy.
I
as
thought
did
we
Anthony
did.
Bruno, didn't you? I mean, you've been in there, and
I
Walter
know.
couldn't be any nicer of a guy.
Some
I mean,
things it has a for some reason.
he does all the things that you
Just-
would recommend, where the owner comes around to the table.
No, he does a great job.
And
There. He runs
he's
an
very-
efficient
I mean,
shop
you
at
can't help but
Anthony's
like the
Clam
place.
House,
Yeah, yeah.
not to be confused with Anthony's Runaway 84. Totally different owners.
What happened to Anthony's wildfire?
But
or
you
whatever that was?
talk about me not letting things go. You brought up something the other day I was astounded by, like the thing about ordering wrong at the Greek restaurant. I
No,
thought
he's never let
we'd
that go.
already let
No,
that go.
that was foolish. Yeah, I mean, but you've criticized other people for that. I mean,
Well, yeah, every place has its specialties. Like
Here,
here,
my theory was simple, and I just feel like if you have something on the menu, it should be representative of what the
Well,
restaurant
especially if
is.
it's $60.
I'm not retreading this. That's
Yeah.
it's fine.
No, but
It's fine.
I think
Get
people
whatever
would
you
agree.
want,
Yeah,
and if it doesn't come out right, you can feel free to
Look, I like when you
criticize.
poke at people because, again, your job is, look, whatever it is, right or wrong, you have been a big part in taking something that was 1,000 people to
I saw somebody
120,000.
thank him actually.
Yes.
The other day for a
So it's fine that he
recommendation.
pokes the bear. Yeah, well, someone was a jerk off. There's nothing wrong with poking the bear. That's what he does. He
I thought
likes.
that was really.
But
lame.
my problem is
Poor
when
guy.
you're taking someone's dish and going, ha ha.
Right.
That's what- Like,
Look,
there's no need for that. Just say, look, I
had-
appreciate
I was
Flanagan's for what they
having
do.
Some
And
You were
this
having issues.
is another rib that is a different kind of rib that I enjoyed myself. Again, like I told you last week and you disregarded it. That is what I think your job and role could be there to not, don't
I
belittle
apologize.
people. Like I like Flanagan's. I would actually agree with him. I've never had a bad experience at
Nothing wrong with it.
Flanagan's,
I
you know?
wasn't taking
So
shots at Flanagan's. I was taking shots at the phrase "never disappoints." If it was misconstrued, then I apologize. As far as those other things, posting dishes to kind of one up
that
people,
was jerky.
that was a complete a-hole move on my part. I was sleep deprived. I was in the middle of an insomnia session. I was basically hate
You were stoned.
adminning.
Yeah.
You were
know
hate
how you
adminning
have hate
100%.
scrolling and hate
How much
watching.
time? How
I
much
was
time do you
hate
put in on that?
adminning.
How much
I
time do
think
you
he's
put in
all
on the
day
thing?
on this thing.
Is that what it was? Were you on the site there for like 12 hours and you just couldn't
And
take it
then
anymore?
and there's only so many times where you could reject the post because they don't put the freaking city in there, and then you
Yeah.
have to send it back to them saying, "Where? What city? Please add city to post." I do that,
That I could see
45,
anytime.
50
Sure.
times,
All right.
and then I get a little grouchy. I'm
You
sorry.
do have a grump element, as Jim Sarni has pointed out many times, and Sarni not exactly the guy that you would think is Mr. Gregarious. So when you meet him, you don't realize what a great guy that he is, but you do get sour.
Yeah, no,
I'm glad.
Name
You know what?
of
It's
sake.
bold that you would admit that you were wrong. That's not an
admitted
easy
it
thing
last
for you.
week.
Yeah.
All right, so people are enamored by the sake.
Soto.
Soto,
Yes.
Ms. Joanne, is the
That's
name of the
the one.
sake.
That was a
What is
nice
this
light.
We're really enjoying
They
it,
call
as you
it
can tell.
a
Uh,
super premium.
This is the best you've ever been on a show.
Like,
You're
What's the
loving it.
name?
Yeah.
Okay, and then someone,
This one is-
Don Jaffe was joking that you're coaching up. Yes, that's actually what he does. Is he wants to be a coach in another life, and he goes to the site to like coach people up. when they don't need his coaching and they're not asking for it.
Yeah. Does he have to be Bobby Knight though?
Why?
I mean, yeah, come on,
Exactly.
man, you really-
Exactly.
You should see me at my house. I'm throwing chairs
Like you're
across
in
the
the
room. I was like,
WWF.
I can't believe they
That's what-
submitted another
He would
one
be
with
the guy that would
Tennessee.
hate Bobby Knight, but actually, that's exactly how he would coach.
No wonder his daughter was nothing to do with the whole issue.
Complicated
Yeah, very
individual,
Yeah,
which
complicated.
means what? A-hole.
Unhappy, at times.
No, I'm very
That's it.
happy.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it's Thanksgiving week, and we've
It is.
turned this into Festivus. All of a sudden, there's an
Yeah,
errand
No,
it's
on the
that's cool.
grievance.
It's all
Yeah.
good. Yeah,
We're
it's all
here
good.
at Kaizen, 5640 North Federal Highway.
Yeah. This is so
And-
great.
So he's been
The
back there a while. I don't know
anticipation.
what he's doing back
He
there.
has got
Anticipation
his whole
is
staff. I didn't
wild.
anticipate. He's got obviously
Got
they
100
do.
guys working.
They do
Where
prep
I
work.
was here.
And let's just give the hours here again. Open for dinner 7 nights, and lunch
We'll do
service
lunch
on the
weekends.
weekends, Saturday and Sunday. So again,
7
but
nights a week. Wow.
they do
Yeah.
their prep work, and they're in here getting ready for the evening service. And
What time do they open up?
4.
4?
4 or
On the door, it
5?
said 4.
That's
Okay.
early. Wow.
And again, they do have takeout if you want. If somebody in your life has just given birth and you want to bring them a
That's a
boat of
funny story.
sushi at the
How do you
hospital,
feel about the sushi boat? I mean,
he does great ones here. They're so artful. I don't know if you've seen
where
any
else?
pictures.
I mean, I've seen some really colossal versions of it. I mean,
Here,
yeah,
he does something.
I was going to say
that's
they're usually a
outstanding.
lot of money,
it's always impressive. Yeah, it
and
really
it
is. It's always
depends,
impressive.
is what I've learned.
Well, what I
It's kind of like the seafood.
The seafood tower, which
tower, yeah,
every
exactly, but
restaurateur will tell you that's a waste.
unlike the seafood tower, which is usually a tourist trap.
Ken literally
item,
openly said that's
it
the
always looks
stupidest.
great. It comes to the table, you think, "Wow, those guys are filthy rich."
here at Kaizen, he does what he calls the party platter, party 1, party 2, party 3. It's served in boats. It's really reasonable. I remember when I did the review for the Sun Sentinel back in 2019,
Mhm.
I came with a group of 4 people, and we got a bunch of rolls and things, and we also ordered the party 2 platter, which is $98 now.
Oh, that's good.
And
Yeah.
It
again,
looks a lot, but that's the thing.
it
Like,
feeds it feeds a whole group,
Yeah.
and it comes out beautiful, very
A
impressive.
stick for
in the
one on
boat.
those big boats is unbelievable.
Yeah, and then he
Thank you,
has
sir.
the super deluxe one that has it's for $130. But again, they have these different sizes.
Yeah.
And Kui is one of those great chefs there. You come in and you give him your budget and say, "Hey, I want to try some more exotic cuts, not just the usual salmon and tuna and the hamachi. Can you craft me like a nice little, maybe mini omakase experience for $75 or $60?"
The flexibility is
like
unbelievable.
that.
And that's another thing that always comes up on Let's Eat South Florida, where people are worried about whether they're getting charged $1 for lettuce. I mean, this guy will literally cater to
Yes.
your desires that night. which
And
is
when you go all the way with his full omakase
no
experience,
substitution.
which is like a third of the price of the ones that you get at the ultra premium places in Miami. He mentioned Hayden, which is a small little,
Yeah.
exclusive den, which I think it's up to 350 a person. Now here, for like a third of the price, you get the same cuts of fish. It's coming from the same purveyors that are getting all these imported Japanese fish flown in twice a week. And he handles it with care. He prepares it artfully. He brushes it with different house-made soy sauce. Not the Kikkoman jars, but things that he's
Yeah.
making his own
my
vinegar
grandson would love this.
blends.
He puts soy sauce on everything.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
peanut butter, he puts soy sauce on. He won't eat anything without soy sauce.
And we'll get Kui back.
Yeah,
in
he's
here
gonna
in a
jump back
second.
on. He's
He's
just
going to
busy. I
come back
figured
because
I'd
I
go
want
with
to
Steve
talk
for now.
about some of the do's and don'ts of sushi.
Yeah.
And my
Yeah,
daughter.
but see, here's the thing with
she-
him is, and one of our guy Scott was like, he doesn't answer anything. I'm like, no, he does. He just respects the restaurateurs,
He's very.
and whether or not they're quote unquote on his level, he's humble enough to understand what they've been through. So he will answer every question, but he's not going to be a jerk.
And unlike me,
He's not Mayo,
smart
is what I
enough
wanted
not
to
to
say.
bash the customers.
Yeah.
To say you
So
don't.
that's the
eat
thing
it
is,
in
I don't know if
two
he'll do a do
bites.
or don't, but I would appreciate what he thinks how you should treat sushi or
Premium
not treat sushi.
Sushi is when it arrives in front of you, you're not supposed to do anything else
I'm
with
gonna
it.
do any-
You're not supposed to dunk it and
That's you.
douse it in soy sauce. You're not supposed to throw an extra layer of wasabi on it. That's all prepared by the sushi chef. He's already created a perfect bite with the balance, with the house-made soy sauce,
Smells
with
good.
the rice,
Yeah.
with the things, and that you're supposed to just sit there, pick it up with your fingers of all things, not even use the chopstick for a perfect.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
let's get Kui on here. We'll talk
Yeah.
about this.
Figure
Maybe
this out.
I'm wrong. Maybe I'm the schmuck who has been doing it wrong.
You're
all
having a
this
little bit of an epiphany in here today. I think this has been good for you from a philosophical standpoint, also.
Well,
Like,
I am the schmuck.
Yeah.
I am an a-hole sometimes, but I also know what I'm talking about when it comes to food, which is why I
no,
love
I've never
Kui so
seen you.
much.
I mean, you get excited about a lot of things. You absolutely have always loved Kaizen, and
Good sushi is
I've never seen you so excited.
it's good
in
for
a-
your
in a
brain.
place, Yeah.
it's good for your gut. You don't get fat.
You've hit
on it.
trifectas at the track for thousands of dollars, and I've never seen you this happen.
When I come here, it's like
Yeah.
hitting the superfecta
Yeah.
every time. Kui, let's talk about how the correct way. Again, people, I know you're one of those. The customer's always right, as long as they come in and they're happy and they leave happy. You want to do what makes them happy, correct?
No.
Okay.
Should hook him up with Reno.
So now tell me, true sushi. I mean, you can eat it with your fingers, right?
Yes, supposed to.
Yeah.
That's how it started.
And-
Sushi started very simple, it's kind of like a New York like a hot dog stand in New York City.
Oh yeah, wow.
So that's how it started during the Edo period. People would just come, that little stand.
This was in Tokyo or in
back in
Japan?
the Edo, Tokyo. Yeah.
Mhm.
So they just make it. You stand there, read your newspaper, you eat it, you're on your way to go. It's not like where you chopstick, you're fancy, but no, that's how it's not started.
All right. And again, finger food and one bite, right?
Yes, one bite.
You didn't dunk it in soy sauce with the rice side down
Nope.
or the fish side. It's like supposed to have the soy brushed on it or the sauces or
Well, proper sushi, proper omakase restaurant, the chef will apply everything for you. Same thing from wasabi to soy sauce, because you can't use the same amount of wasabi and soy sauce for the shellfish, for the white meat, and for the dark meat, and for the silver skin fish. They all apply differently. Same thing for the rice. If you're using the same amount of wasabi on a piece of scallop and you're doing it the same on the tuna, that's wasabi gonna overpower the scallop.
this is what I've learned. I went to Japan 2 times, once for the Winter Olympics in '98 at Nagano, once for a Dolphins preseason game in Tokyo. And in Japan, you don't go into a restaurant where they like have everything. It's like they specialize. There's a place that is just a ramen shop. There's a place that's just a sushi place. Like everything is all about like trying to find that perfection and balance of whatever the item is. And balance is such a big part of Japanese culture,
Yes.
right?
Yes, it is.
And that's what you strive for here every day with your fish and achieving the proper balance of the. Do you still have the fresh grated wasabi for certain?
It's
items?
about to come out. He's
Oh,
doing it for you
geez.
right now.
Have you had fresh grated wasabi, Defo?
No, I
Could
would have
be-
to say no. And I'm a big wasabi fan, although I have overdosed on it like I do with the Chinese
Yeah,
mustard. But,
Clears your nostrils out.
yeah,
But
yeah.
the green stuff. I mean, what is the green stuff? Which again you
It's
use.
horseradish with food coloring on it.
But the fresh wasabi is.
That's the one that you.
Oh, that's
really
a
want.
real
It's a
deal.
root.
Yep.
And you
Nice.
fresh grate it like fresh grated truffles or
I like
Parmesan
that.
cheese. And the difference in that, it's for anybody who appreciates food. It is like, I mean, the regular wasabi is fine, especially if you're having it and you like it a little bit turbocharged. But
With the fresh wasabi, it's a nice little kick, and it doesn't really overpower like the horseradish. You can
Oh,
get a
okay.
lot of it, and you
Nice.
still be okay. You can still handle it.
Yeah.
No-
Oh.
are we
Okay.
ready?
Yeah, no, we got to take one more break. We got to
Okay.
do a little bit more business. And again, today, Delaware Chicken and Seafood Market.
You were there this morning.
I was at 7:10
I saw the pictures. Looked great.
a.m. They
Yeah.
opened at 7
Doug
o'clock.
Carter was there handing out birds.
It was so good to see our sponsors at Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Have you ever been in there in Hollywood? It's on State
No.
You would
Road
love it.
7.
This is
I
right up
Um,
your alley, Queen.
Again, they
Yeah.
are all about freshness, quality, value. They've been in business since the 1950s, and its current location, Doug Carter has been the owner since 1962. And at 80 something years young, he's there, bright and bushy tailed this morning. One of the biggest days of the year, today, tomorrow. They literally are selling thousands of turkeys that they get from a farm in Florida, fresh, never frozen. And again, I picked up mine this morning. They are unbelievable because the efficiency, but they've got 3 refrigerated
alive.
trucks in the
He
back.
brought it home in
Yeah.
a cage.
And but again, not just for Thanksgiving week, but for any day of the week, any weekend, you want to pick up the great quality stone crabs and fish from local waters, Key West pink shrimp, the Florida lobster tails. They also have steaks and pork and house-made sausages, and of course all their poultry, the chicken parts and the turkeys, and they also have duck. Whatever you want, Delaware Chicken and Seafood is the place to go for your products for the home. It is for entertaining or just for family meals. And this week it's for my holiday table. Been going there, getting my holiday birds for over 2 decades, and I got it this morning. Looks beautiful. Picked up some stone crabs. Picked up some of their famous fish dip.
Oh
It's at
boy.
4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood. Again, they are open today and tomorrow. Open up early. It was great to see everybody. Just the place was cooking and humming. Go to DelawareChicken.com for the latest information, the hours, and the daily offerings, the weekly specials. DelawareChicken.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you, and look what we got here.
Wow,
Holy
wow, what an
moly.
artistic presentation this is. Just amazing. Can't wait to try it and to get the description. We'll come back with that in a moment here on Mike Mayo's Lunchbox from Kaizen in Fort Lauderdale.
It's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Want great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting? Have I got the place for you? Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasto platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi. Fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed on Mondays. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets. They've got eggs Benedict. They've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you.
Welcome back to the Lunchbox. We're going to go a little overtime today because look what just arrived. An exquisite platter of some of the finest sushi that I've ever seen here at Kaizen, 5640 North Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale. We're with Kui the master sushi savant. What do we have in front of us, Kui? Because I'm going to start digging in a second, but I want the fine folks at home to see exactly.
Before you destroy it, like we
what we're
describe it, it's a
eating,
work
yeah.
of art here.
Let me
Yeah.
reverse this around
Yeah,
so everybody
can see. Yeah, we
Right.
got that fresh wasabi root right there.
right
which
here. This is the real wasabi root.
beautiful.
Wow.
All right, what do we got?
Starting over here, you have Japanese uni from Hokkaido. This one is Hiro Suzuki, is the Japanese sea bass. Meijina is a large-scale blackfish. Right now it's in season, so it's nice and fatty. You can see the fat line right here. Usubahaki, funny name, is called unicorn leather jacket.
Mhm.
And when you see it, you know why? Because the skin itself, almost like a leather, is stretched. Ocean trout, I prefer this more
It
than
looks like salmon, but it's ocean trout. It's
Absolutely.
so good. Yes.
a lot of restaurants here have king salmon, but why carry king salmon when you already have different kind of the bluefin tuna with
Mhm.
higher fat content? Now, there's a little bit less fattier content than the king salmon, but it's higher in omega-3 oil. So
Mhm.
you're gonna get more of a texture compared to the king salmon, while king salmon just melts in your mouth. And this is the kanpachi imported from Japan. There's kanpachi and then there's kanpachi. One of them from the Hawaiian region, and then
Mhm.
one is from Japan region.
Mhm.
Japanese A5 wagyu with a little bit of pickled
Seared.
wasabi on top.
Beef.
This is madai, which is the red sea bream. The trick that we do here, we pour hot water on the skin first, drop into ice water to prevent it from cooking any further.
Of course. You knew that, Defo, right?
This is fascinating. It really is. I mean,
And after that,
you almost
we,
hate to eat it because it looks so
I don't
great.
hate to
Yeah,
eat it.
yeah.
Did you see the table rise? I am getting very
Yeah, I
excited.
did, yeah.
I'm sorry.
and after that, we'll torch it so it's nice and crispy. Now, if you don't pour the hot water on the skin and you decide to torch it, by all means, it's okay. It's crispy, but aftertaste a little bit of chewiness. So proper technique goes a long way. This is bluefin tuna we imported from Spain. Bluefin, you can get it all year round if you want to pay for it. Now, most restaurants, they got a super freezer. Easy to maintain, easy to take care, cut everything up, throw it in there. But that's not what we do. We get our bluefin every 2 weeks, and it ranging from 140 pounds to 160, sometimes 180. It depends, but it's all far between those range.
And you go through it.
Absolutely. When I just got one coming this week, and I have one coming next weekend because I don't like to serve it right away. I
And
like
this
to
is the
age them.
4 cuts of the different fat
Yep.
content. Yeah.
So starting over here is the kami, which is the lean. My tuna example
Yeah,
right
you
here.
could show Mike that there's no lean on me,
Lean
though.
beef,
but-
yeah.
The akami, which is the red meat, the lean
Okay.
part. This is the back.
Okay.
Then you have two total. It's kind of like an ombre type. It has like bacon, visualize bacon, half fat, half lean, which is by the rib cage right
Okay,
here.
right there.
Half fat, half lean.
And you got the
Can you
all
carve
fat.
him up on your head?
He's got the knife up there. I'm a little
And
scared.
here we have otoro.
Oh,
But most people here call it toro. But the word toro in Japanese just means fat. So you have to be specific. This is otoro. Otoro is by the belly right here.
Mhm.
That's the fattest of all. And here is the kamatoro, which is the jaw of the bluefin tuna.
the jaw is
Now
so
there's also
delicate and beautiful.
it is, but there's
Full
also
of flavor.
another premium cut that you're not going to get around here. It's called hocho toro, which is under the eyelid.
Mm.
So the bluefin has to be over 600 pounds just in order to get any kind of cut out of it.
Mm.
And you're looking at $50, $60 for a piece for that.
Wow, wow.
So
And-
that's the more
And just a
premium
pro tip for when you get a whole grilled fish at a restaurant, some of the seafood places and Thai food, you'll see that real like foodies will poke at the cheeks and under the eyes because that
Mhm.
is the sweetest meat on
Absolutely.
any fish, whether it's a local snapper or something like that. So that's same concept, but only for a 600-pound fish. Right? It's-
Absolutely.
Oh, and what do we have in the spoons here?
Yeah, that
Because
looks
And
great.
before I get to the spoon,
Oh,
we
yeah.
also age our bluefin tuna.
these are all aged cuts.
Absolutely. We age
Between
them all.
like 2 weeks or 10 days.
It,
or-
it depends on how long we're going to have it for. But that's
Again.
the beauty about aging. The longer you age it, the better it tastes. So there's
Mm.
nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
Beautiful.
And that's what Eli does. He take care of all that. Or if not, I have Fabian and Presley. They take care of all those for me.
Okay. And
Now-
then we've got your little spoons. You're
Yeah.
famous for this. It's
You can
the-
go right here. This
Yeah,
is
look at
our
this.
chef spoon. So in the spoon, you have some house-made ikura, some uni, Japanese scallop, and you also have some quail egg. Now for
Oh.
the sauce that we do, we get a little bit of ponzu puree in there.
Didn't you have a quail egg the other day somewhere?
I did at my new Uzbek
that,
restaurant around the corner. They put a quail
Kazakhstan
egg.
restaurant that you went to. Yeah, very
Yeah,
good.
Uzbekistan.
And look at all of
Uzbekistan.
this. Wow.
Look at this. He's got. I've never had the udon noodles here, and I
Wow,
guess
look
that's
at
going to
that.
change today. So much for eating light before Thanksgiving, Defo.
There goes the diet. Yeah, I'm
craziness
starting
here.
a diet tomorrow.
I want to start. I don't know if you're gonna enjoy it,
Please,
but,
enjoy it.
I'm going to do it. I'm
There's
going to do
no
it.
way
You know,
not
I'm all
to
in.
enjoy
I need
this.
Lubie to get involved too here.
and you've
Yeah.
got to slurp this kind of in
Just
one
the whole
bite.
thing. Yeah.
But this is the chef spoon again. The Hokkaido scallops, a delicacy. The Hokkaido uni, a delicacy.
All
A
right,
quail
we have to
egg,
do
a
this together as a
delicacy.
toast to Thanksgiving
Taste.
and Kui and
Yeah,
Kaizen restaurant.
here's
Thank you
the-
for having us.
Here we go. Oh,
This
thank you
is
so much. This
beautiful.
is so
and we're
beautiful.
going to continue.
Wow.
Here we go.
Wow.
Mm.
That is great.
We're all speechless.
Huh? I got an erection.
Waves.
I'm 72 years old. It's a first, in like a while. Fantastic.
Some people.
Natural blue pill.
Wow.
That is. You're talking about some premium quality product there. Some people.
It beats the California roll.
Some
that,
people,
I was going to order.
shoot heroin. Some people maybe snort a little cocaine. You could give me that chef spoon every day of the week,
Wow.
and
That's exceptional.
that is unbelievable stuff. Got rice, noodles, some cooked dishes. They've got everything
and
that
even,
you want
for
here.
the faint of heart, that it may not be as adventurous as you are. I mean, they have a lot of, stuff too. So
Absolutely. For those who
Fantastic, yeah.
are not into sushi or raw fish, we have some
Yeah.
fried rice, some udon beef, some teriyaki
Wow.
chicken, and our lamb chop right here.
The lamb chop
Oh,
is
the lamb
something
chop
that
is
I
your thing.
always
Yeah, that's your
start
thing.
with here
Yeah.
because you wouldn't figure, but they do these beautiful little, lamb chops on the bone. They could split as an appetizer, and he makes the most delicious. It's like a
Those look
soy
fantastic.
butter
Yeah,
sauce
they look
with
fantastic.
spinach. I'm going to give you one of these because I know that you can just pick it up with your finger.
Okay, yeah.
And
Oh, wow,
and then
does that
just
look
chop
good,
on
man?
it if you want some of the spinach
I'm
too.
in.
And if you want to
Okay.
get some of the
Let me help
spinach,
you.
Yeah, I got
and
it.
at this point, I'm going to just one more piece of business that we got to do before we're going to get out of here. We're going to enjoy this feast. And again, thank
Let's
you
try
to
the
Kui and
spinach.
Kaizen. You guys, if you haven't been here, you got to come check it out. One of your regulars also happens to be
Wow.
one of our longest and most loyal sponsors, Jack Studiali. And the Studiali family, him and his wife Terry, they love coming here to Kaizen. And you're going to love going to his place, Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop in Old Fort Lauderdale, Dania Beach, 2500 Griffin Road. And they are open for the Thanksgiving holiday, but they're fully booked. But they're also open this weekend, Friday, Black Friday, Saturday. So if you can't get in there, if you don't have your reservation for the Thanksgiving holiday, you can still book for Christmas Day. They're open 1 to 8. They're going to be open on New Year's Eve. Tropical Acres has been there since 1949. It is a place, again, I love family owned and operated. They take great care of you. Value, quality, selection, service. That is what you get at Tropical Acres Steakhouse, 2500 Griffin Road.
Delicious.
Go to tropicalacres.com for the full holiday rundown of their hours. They have prime rib. That's fantastic. They have filet mignon. And of course, they also have some seafood dishes. No more Maine lobster special, but they do have stone crabs. They have scallops. And I love that surf and turf marsala pasta dish. Go in there to Tropical Acres and tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
And
All
they're
right,
going to
Kui.
send you over the moon here, Queen. Unbelievable job. Wow. And we haven't even gotten everything yet, but just the spinach. When the spinach is like worth coming to the restaurant for, that's absolutely fantastic. And these lamb chops are great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Unbelievable.
Thank you for having us here.
Oh,
We
wow.
appreciate it. Thank you.
And one more piece of business. Burt Rappaport Restaurant Group, Prezzo Restaurant. You can go in there. They're open on Thanksgiving Day from 12 to 8 p.m. along with the other Rappaports. Max's Grill in Meisner Park. Deck 84 on the Intracoastal in Delray Beach. Burt and Max's out in West Delray in the Delray Marketplace. They're not opening till 4 o'clock on Thanksgiving, but they're all open, ready to serve. And every day of the week, they're open. They have happy hour specials at the bars and the high tops at all their restaurants. We're going to be at Prezzo Boca Raton next Monday because the food party never stops here on the Lunchbox. Kui, can you see why I ballooned to the proportions that
I knew him when he was a skinny sports writer. And then he became the food critic. And I saw him like after a couple of years, I hadn't seen him. I was like, it's like the thing they say when you go to a reunion. What happened to you?
Mike Mayo? Is that you?
Yeah, what happened to you?
Or as one of the golfers said after he saw me after a few years, he goes, "Did you just stick an air hose up your butt?"
That had to be Freddie Coles.
Oh, man. So we're going to dig into this platter.
It is
I think I'm
unbelievable.
going in
Wow,
first for – you guys don't like
Unbelievable
this.
job.
Do you?
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is,
Thank you.
all right. I'll let it go.
You
I'll let
destroyed it,
I
yeah.
just destroyed
Pick
it.
it up with your fingers. That's what you're supposed to do. Never mind these chopsticks.
Yeah,
Let me spin it around for you.
that's it.
There you go.
Kui Lamb, thank
Kui
you
Lam.
so much. This is
Ladies and gentlemen.
I am definitely grateful for you. The
Wow.
fact that your restaurant has been here and now has become a fixture in the local community for those who are sushi lovers.
This is a treasure
thank you, my
here.
friend.
Yeah,
Thank
fantastic.
you. Thank you.
Have a great
Thank you so
Thanksgiving.
much. It was a pleasure, my friend.
And
Mike, thank you.
everybody, we will see you tomorrow from the new Bayoshi Food Hall in Pembroke Pines on Pines Boulevard. It is not open to the public yet. We're getting a sneak peek preview, and it's also going to be a Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival show where we're going to be talking about that upcoming new food event, the Walk and Roll Asian Street Food event on Thursday, January 11th. Again, we'll be out at Bayoshi Food Hall tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and then we're taking Thanksgiving off so I could eat some more. All right, everybody. Enjoy every sushi piece and enjoy every sandwich.
Thank you, everybody.